Good day, everybody. I'm Dorina. Welcome to my kitchen. I think most of you watching already know that. I'm such a dork. So anyway, we're going to make something special today. So yesterday, before I get started, yesterday was my 4th anniversary. So I put a post up. I was busy doing some stuff and getting ready for things we're doing. And I wanted to make this recipe for you special because it's kind of a special one. This is something that's honestly really easy, but it looks beautiful and it looks like you spent a lot of time on it, but it really doesn't. So what I'm going to tell is that it's a spinach, okay, I guess you could call it like un rotolo, a roll-up, or a roulade if you want to speak French, or that's not really a French accent. Want to speak French? Anyway, or a roll. So we're going to make this beautiful spinach thing. So what I did already, just to make this a little simpler, was I had 2 big packages of fresh spinach, which I just put a drop of water in the bottom of the pot and steamed it, and then I let it drain, and then I put it in my food processor, just pulsed it a few times. Let's see if I can do that again. There's my spinach that I pulsed a few times in the food processor, so now I have, little spinach. And I've got it here draining. There's still a few more drops. I pushed it down already. So now I've got spinach on my fingers. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I didn't really lick my finger. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. So that just takes, no joke, I don't know, less than 5 minutes. It was so quick. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pan. You really do need parchment paper for this because we're going to be making this big flat spinach thing here, and you need to be able to pick it up and peel it off and then put it on a new one and roll it. So I'll show you. So first thing we're going to do is oil this a little bit. Now, so we're just going to put some oil on here and spread it around all over the paper because you want the paper to come off easy at the end. And then we'll go up the sides here as well. So we're just spreading some nice, yummy olive oil all over. Nice and greased pan. So we're going to set this aside for a minute. I have another piece here waiting in the wings for after. You'll see what we do with that one. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is get this pan hot because right now we are going to start making the mixture that is going to make this beautiful thing. And we're going to stick in the oven first. We can do that quickly so that we can hopefully bring it out and then spread the goody stuff that we're making on top of it. So what we're making right now is basically a little roux. But what we're going to do first is we're going to chop up some shallots because shallots are so yummy and flavorful. And I get a lot of people have asked me, what do you do with shallots? Like, how are they different? Why would you use them different from an onion or whatever? Now, these shallots were actually kind of big. This was actually really big. So I'm probably not using, let's see. No, I'll probably use this bigger piece. So normally you'd use like 2 or 3 of the smaller pieces, but this one is like one big giant one. So I'm just going to chop this up. And we're just going to cut this into little teeny slivers going this way. And then we're just going to dice it tiny, tiny. Let me turn this down before I burn my pan because it's not ready yet. We're not ready for it yet, but I want it to be nice and hot. Okay, so I've got nice little diced shallot, and I'm going to do this other piece. And this is completely, you can decide. If you only have one and you only want to use one, or if you don't want to use any shallot at all, don't. You can use onion if you don't have shallot. But if you happen to be at the store and you see the shallots and you think you might make this, plan ahead. Okay, let's do this the easier way. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of butter. So I took the butter out and it was soft. I hit it. Let's see. So that's about 1 tablespoon. And that's 2 tablespoons. We're going to turn this off real quick because I let my pan get hot. Whoop! Okay, Dorina. So I burnt some butter. But, I'll use that for something else later because brown butter is really good for certain things. Okay. Let's turn this on now and turn it on low. I kind of forgot to put it on. All right, 1, 2, and maybe just a little more. Okay, put that in there, and it is going to melt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to saute these shallots in there. Let me see if I need all of those. Saute the shallots in the butter. What the heck? It's going to taste good. All right. That was a giant shallot. Okie dokie. So now it's starting to melt nice and slow, like it should. There we go. And we're going to let those melt up and cook down a little. As soon as that's melted, we're going to throw in, this is 1/3 of a cup of flour. This is going to thicken it up a little and make it a roux. You know what a roux is? This is the beginning of making like a bechamel sauce or something. But this is basically a thickener. So we're throwing, oh my gosh, these shallots smell so already. Melted butter smells, actually I think it's the other melted butter that I burnt. You know, shallots, you know, onions, when you cook onions, they smell wonderful. But shallots have like this little, I don't know, this other little mellow flavor to them that are just really good. I think I need just another little dab of butter just because I want to make sure. Now what you're making is a little sauce here that's going to be thick, okay? And it's supposed to be. Because we don't want it to be watery. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now that this has been cooking. The shallots are already starting to get a little bit see-through. Give them 1 second. And I'm going to start putting in, because what you basically want to do is you want to cook the flour. So you're going to put the flour in, you're going to stir it around and let it absorb all the butter. And it's going to be very thick. And let that cook for a second. Then we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of milk. All right. So we're going to do this. I'll put half of it in, stir it around. And then we'll put the rest of it in. And stir it. And it's going to become a very thick sauce. Very thick glue. It's going to hold everything together. Okay. I think I need just a smidge more butter just because I think it's a smidgen dry and I was kind of being cheap with the butter. Okay, perfect. So you can see, wait, let me just get this last little bit melted and move this stuff around a little. So you have a very thick sauce, so to speak. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding in the rest of the stuff because this is part of what is going to make this wonderful spinach sauce. So, spinach roll. So we're going to put the spinach in. Now I've just turned the heat off because the pan's already nice and hot and we don't want to burn it. So put this on there. We're going to add a little salt and pepper. So here's a little bit of pinch of salt. We did use salted butter today, so don't go too heavy on the salt. And some black pepper. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, just a little teeny bit of black pepper, because what I'm going to do is I actually like anything that has a white anything in it. I like a little bit of white pepper. So this time we're mixing a little bit. Little teeny bit of white pepper. And we're going to put in a little bit of nutmeg, because I like nutmeg. And I think it goes very nicely. I'm not doing too much. It seems like a lot, but it's like maybe a quarter of a nut. Okay, so probably a pinch. We're going to put in a couple of tablespoons of cheese. So I'm just going to pour it in the lid because that gives it about one. Oops, hold on. There we go. Every time you put it in the fridge, it, okay. About 2 tablespoons of that. And we're going to put in our egg yolks. But first I'm going to stir this up a little bit first, just to get it started mixing around. Oh my God, this smells so good. So this is what we've got right now so far, this nice creamy spinach mixture. Now we're gonna we're going to start, because this is hot, so we're going to drop in a little egg at a time and just stir it up as quick as I can. All right, so there's number one. This was 4 egg yolks. And I might as well just, that one broke, so we're just going to put those last 2 in together. So now it's gotten a little thinner. There's some white chunks in here because that's like little pieces of cheese that you see. Look at this. And it has a nice consistency. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, just because I don't want it to overcook, so I'm going to do, just drying this pan out here. Had a little drop of water in here from the spinach before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here because it's cooler. Get all of it out. Okay, a little bit more. All right, spread it around a little bit because I want it to just cool for a second. Get this stuff out of the way. Oh, this is exciting because I haven't made this in a while. Now, with those 4 eggs that I started with, I put the egg yolks in and I beat ahead of time. Okay, so this is stiff, but it's not like dry because it's still got a shiny sheen to it. That's what you want. You don't want it too dry. So anyway, we're going to fold this. This was only 4 egg whites. I'm going to put 1 spoonful in, and I'm just going to fold it in. You know, it's funny. We're sitting here, we fluff this stuff up, and then we're mushing it down. And you know, people have said, but I don't understand, because you're folding it in, you're mixing it in, and it's going to just get flat too. You know, and it does, but it doesn't. So it's one of those kind of crazy things that it does flatten, but if you beat it, it completely just goes back to liquid, and then it doesn't have the fluff factor. So we're just folding this together. You're just pushing these in. You do want it to completely be, like, you can have little chunks of white in it. You know, you don't want big chunks. Like, that's a big chunk. So we're folding that over, folding that over. Okay, just good enough. And you can see how nice and fluffy it is. So now we're going to take our nice greased pan. That all kind of beat it up on me. This was new parchment paper I bought, and it's not quite as parchmenty. It's a little shinier than regular parchment paper, but I'm going to use it till it's gone. Okay, so we're going to pour this whole thing in here. And we're just going to spread it around gently all the way to the edges, which we did grease the sides. They're nice and greasy. If you're not sure and you're concerned, then just go up to the edge, but make sure your sides are even. Like straight. I guess I should say nice and straight and flat. But there's plenty here. And if you're gentle, just don't smush down on it because you don't want it to, let's move this knife out of the way. And that, okay. So, go down. Make this really pretty. All right, look at how beautiful this is, okay? Woo, it's going in the oven. Okay, so I have a preheated 400-degree oven, okay? So in theory, I think the original time I found this recipe, and then of course I modified it, made it my own, of course, because that's what I do. I think it said something like 20-25 minutes. I think on a 400-degree oven, I think it usually is like 15-20 minutes. So now we're going to make the filling, because when that's done, We only let it sit a couple minutes because usually you would serve this warm, but you can serve it cold also. So we have 1 cup of ricotta. So I'm just going to get this all out. Now, you can make it just ricotta and add a little milk to it. I had some mascarpone in the refrigerator, so I'm going to add a couple tablespoons. I think it's like about 2 tablespoons. Okay, that's in there. All right, and then I'm just gonna. I already mixed it with a little milk. You could mix ricotta and mascarpone. You can mix ricotta and like a little bit of heavy cream that you whipped up a little bit maybe, or even just a little extra ricotta with a little bit of liquid cream. You just want the ricotta to be a little teeny bit thinner. So you don't want this one to be, you don't want it to be wet, but you don't want it to be too dry. Okay, so now we're going to flavor this. So now we're going to put a little pinch of salt in here. We're going to put a little pinch of, actually no, I'm going to put the white pepper and the nutmeg in here too. Just a white pepper, because I want this I want this to be nice colored. Let's see. Nutmeg. I didn't put very much in the other one. You can do it in both pieces. You can put it in the spinach and here, or just in here. But it's so strong, these are some nice new nuts I just bought, so they're nice and fresh smelling. Just a little. But it really gives it a nice flavor. Okay. See how this, putting that together was pretty quick, and it's in the oven doing its thing while we just make this. And then we go do whatever else we're doing, and we wait until it comes out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to chop up a little bit of parsley. Now, the other thing you can do, and it's strictly up to you. Let's move this off to the side for a moment. If you want, you can, to the cream, you could add a little bit of cayenne pepper. That adds a nice little touch to it. So, you can not put the nutmeg in if you want. You can flavor it how you like. You could also, if you wanted, put a little bit of cheese, extra cheese in the center, which we might. Maybe we'll throw a tablespoon of the grated cheese. So right now I'm just, there's a big stem. I usually take just the bigger stems off, and I'll chop up the little stems because they have flavor too. So this is just some, Italian flat leaf parsley. Because you're going to have that green on the outside. Then you got the white in the middle, but we're going to throw a little parsley in there too. You can throw parsley in with the spinach if you want it for the flavor. If you want little specks, you can do that. So whichever way you want to do it. This is the kind of thing that, even though this is a really cool recipe, it's really easy to change up. So while we're talking and waiting for that thing to come out, I'm going to tell you about all the ways you can change this recipe. So again, you can use ricotta, or you could use straight up mascarpone in the middle. Mascarpone, a little cream. You could do that too and be a creamier inside. You could put parsley in the filling or with the spinach. Okay, there. We'll put this off to the side. The other thing you could do is if you had to, if you didn't have any choice, if you have a little bit of sour cream, you could put a little sour cream in with the ricotta, just because it's just a creamy thing that's a little thinner that helps it, flow. You could also, instead of spinach, you could blend up a zucchini, any other green, leafy green, beet greens, oh, yum, kale, broccoli rabe. Ooh, actually, that's one I haven't done yet. I'm going to try that one. But, the historic one I've made it with spinach. But you could use you could do this broccoli. Broccoli would be good too. Anything goes with ricotta. So you can make this outer piece, the part we're going to roll up. You could use beets. You could puree beets and have a red. Oh, wouldn't that be cool? To do a layer of red, do the green layer with the white in the middle, got the Italian flag. It would also be really good at Christmas. So, there's all kind of possibilities. The possibilities truly are endless. So, I'm going to just take this and put some of this, mix a little bit of this in. Oh, it's so pretty. Look how pretty. Just the contrast is so pretty. And I love the smell of fresh parsley. Okay. Not going to put too much because I don't want it to become green. Just some little flecks. Okay. And I think I am going to put just a smidge of grated cheese in there. You can use Romano, you can use Parmigiano, you can use, Grano Padano. You can use any grated cheese, hard cheese that you like to grate. Yum. Smells good. Ta-da! Look at this. Oh, God, and it smells divine. Oh, yum. All right, so we got to do a little bit of magic right now. Let's move this over. Stay there. All right. We are going to just go around the edge and make sure that it is fully cooked. And not, okay, it is. Make sure that there's nothing sticking because we're going to take this out of this pan. Okay, so we got this pretty easy. Use one of these or a big spatula. All right, and this one, the paper was all the way up, so we're good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, what I'm supposed to do here is put this on there. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go the other way. And we're going to do this. I'm going to put this on top. If this thing would stop curling up, stop. Okay. It's hot. Let's see if this works. Oh, Lord. Oh, it did. Look at this. Take that hot pan off. Now we're just going to gently peel this off. Just because this one you want to peel off because this side's more wet, because it's underneath, and the other side was more dry because it was on top. So you want to get this off because then you want to roll it up and you want to make sure that it sticks. So I'll throw that over there. Now you do want to do this warm, so this is not, we're not rushing things here. Okay. So, and then what we have is this is on a towel and it's on a piece of parchment. So then we have something to roll it up with. So here we go. We're going to take this and we're going to spread it all the way across. Okay, now we're going to use the rubber spatula so we get it all out. So I've been talking and talking today. And I haven't even asked you guys. So where are you watching from? If you're one of my regulars, I already know where you are. But you can still say hi anyway. Please say hello. Let everybody actually know. Even if you're a regular, say where you're from because you let other people know where you're from. Okay. Let's try this. I like this thing, my offset spatula, because it really spreads things nicely. And this is just going to be a nice little skinny, thin layer. If you want to make it a thicker layer, you can. But honestly, you don't want it too thick because then it's like doesn't stay together. It's like slides. So, but this amount is usually just right, and it is. Okay, so now I'm just going around and making sure it's all nice and even. This side's all to the edge. This side has a little bit on the corner. This is fun to me. This is like a little bit of perfectionism, but it doesn't have to be perfect. But I like having cream, just like when I butter my toast, I like the butter all the way to the edges, or the jam all the way, or the Nutella all the way to the, gotta put stuff all the way to the edges. All right, look at this. You can't hold this up, but I think you get the idea. All right, here we go. So now, I'm just gonna turn the whole board around. Here we go. This is how we do it. This is how we do it, baby. Okay, so we're going to take the ends and we're going to roll it up as tightly as we can. Be very careful at the first part because that's the hardest piece, the very beginning. At the very beginning. But then it goes nice. And so we can use this paper or the cloth, either way you want to do it. And you keep rolling. Okay. Look at this. It's so cool. I'm going to pull this over. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Woo! Look at how pretty this is. It's rolling so perfectly. And then you get it over the top and then let it sit for a minute. Now, always a little teeny bit of the cream is going to eke out the end, but that's all right. So now we've got this beautiful roll. Look at this. Isn't that nice? It's so pretty. Okay, now I need my sharpest knife. So what I normally do is let it sit for a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to set this here. Move that over. And I'm going to pull this over here. Whoop. And get this kind of rolled up out of the way here a little. And then I just need a pretty plate to put it. Actually, I think I'm just going to take one of these right here. And what I'm going to do is turn this a little sideways. Okay. And I'm just going to cut off the very end. Now the end piece, oh, you know what I need to do? I need another dish. You know why? Because the end piece is the test taster piece. So we're just going to cut this very skinny piece off. Do it very gently. And use this. Okay. So the end piece, of course, is always the ugly piece. But wow, that's cool. And here we go. You know what I did? Normally, I would let this sit a couple extra minutes. So the cream is a little soft because the spinach, but look at how pretty it is. You can tell that it's going to be very pretty. And I'm going to let this sit and cool a little bit more. But it is good eaten warm. So I'm going to show you how good it is eaten warm. Fork. So, you know those ugly end pieces that, you know, they're the kitchen test tasters? So, you know, this probably would have been a little better with a little drier ricotta. Oh. I forgot how good this is. Oh. Oh, man. That nutmeg and a little bit of cheese and the spinach. Wow. Wowza. For that little teeny bit of flour in the roux that you put in with the spinach. Except for that, this is very low carb. So it's not gluten-free. I'm sure you could do that with some gluten-free flour, and then you have a completely gluten-free dish, and it is... Pasquale, you want to try it? Okay. He's a busy. But, oh, there's a little bit of the ricotta left. So, you have this beautiful... When this is cooled down, I'm going to slice it and put a pretty picture out. But look how... But it still looks good. It still looks good, and it still tastes good, let me tell you. So, this is my spinach roll, my spinach rotolo, that I hope that you will try, because it really is not hard. I mean, you're hard-pressed to mess it up, you know. What I would recommend... I haven't made this in a long time. Gosh, I've had this recipe, and I actually got this recipe just because I wanted to do something fancy. And the crust part, the spinach part is perfect. The ricotta I probably should have made a little drier, so maybe that little splash of milk that I threw in with the mascarpone to make it because it was so thick, I probably shouldn't have done. But anyway, that's okay. It's going to cool, and it's going to still be beautiful and tasty for us tonight. If you want the lines, the green and the white, to be perfectly delineated, make your ricotta drier, or just use ricotta. If you have a wet ricotta, let it sit in a cheesecloth or something for a little bit and let it be dry. So that's that. But I can't. Let's see. Oh, I know. Let me turn this around so you can see it, because I'm not taking it off of here right now. But you can see this pretty roll, and we can just this little bit of ricotta that's eking out. But you can see the nice lines there. Okay, I have to eat those though. But I think you can see it on here, and it's lovely. You know, you got the green and white stripes, so it's really pretty. So let's move this back. Okay. That's it. Wow. Mwah. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Ciao, ciao. Remember, eat dinner at the table. This is a great thing. People will be like, wow, what's that? I'm coming to put this on the table. It's so pretty. Yum. Ciao, y'all.